Ever since I was a kid I've wanted a pond. I've always been obsessed with freshwater habitats and the animals and plants that live within them. I would always be sure to make my way down for the annual frog spawn as a child, and I guess having aquariums is kind of like a mini indoor pond. At 22 years old, my parents finally agreed to help them build a pond for their back garden. 2 weeks ago, we got to work, and this is the story. Okay, so the pond is arriving today. We got a pre-formed pond by a brand called Blagdon. It's the 1,250 litre model. It's called Damselfly, and I'm just hoping we'll be able to get it around the side gate and into the back garden. But yeah, really excited. Once we had the pond, we could pretty much get to digging. We didn't start before, as we wanted the exact shape of the pond before starting to dig. Even having this, digging wasn't easy, and it was made harder by a layer of stones about a foot down. So that is where this pitchfork came in super handy. Previously I was digging the stony layer with the end of this spade. It wasn't really going anywhere, just going straight into the stone. So if you do encounter something like that, I'd recommend you grab a pitchfork, stick that in, and that lifts up the dirt and the stones really easily. I'm not including much footage of us actually digging because this part was super muddy and at points frustrating. We didn't really have an exact plan, so we kept moving the pond in and out of the hole until we finally got the right shape. It's okay because any large sections at the side can be filled in later with the excavated topsoil. This brings me on to the amount of soil this relatively small hole created. We thought we could get away with 1 or 2 1.5 ton bags, but in the end totally filled up 3 1.5 ton bags. We realised as the soil kept coming it would have been cheaper to get a skip, and I would say the soil increased by a size of about 3 times when dug and moved. Once the pond fit snug into the hole, we filled the bottom with a 5 cm layer of sand. This is to stop any sharp rocks from overly protruding into the hard plastic as it's filled and becomes extremely heavy, and means the pond base can sit on a flat and even surface. We then placed the pond on top and made sure everything was snug. Once we were sure everything was fine, we began topping up. At 1,250 litres with a normal hose, this process took about an hour and a half. As the pond filled, we also packed topsoil into the parts of the pond which had gaps to ensure an even load of pressure onto every part of the pond and surrounding earth. We then placed the filter pump into the pond and left it a week. In total, to excavate all the dirt and fill the pond, it took 2 people 2 days. After a week, when the water had cleared, we decided to add some marginal pond plants and a water lily. These came in small pots, which were not suitable for growth over the season, so I had to transfer them to larger pots. To do this, I filled a larger pot with pond soil, placed the plant in, and covered the soil surface with a layer of gravel to prevent it floating off when placed into the pond. We also added a layer of slate to the bottom of the pond. This was to provide more surface area for beneficial bacteria, and also serves as a crucial hiding place for all sorts of pond inhabitants, and of course, the water clouded up again. And a week later, that brings us to today. The water's cleared nicely, and that was basically just the initial phase of the pond build, which was digging the hole, putting the preformed pond in, filling it up, and putting some plants in. I'm really pleased with how this pond has turned out, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how all of these plants grow in throughout the coming spring and summer, as well as which wildlife comes and visits our pond over the coming months. Be sure to stay tuned. In the next video I will be putting some fish in this pond. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a great day.